Two men journey to the bars and restaurants of Scandinavia to find amazing beers, always with the same question.
Hey, what's on tap?
It's time to find out.
Day 22 of the Tool Advent Calendar, and we are in a series here.
Yes.
So the third in a series. So we had the 1 ton of Christmas, 1 ton of pomegranate, and today we have 1 ton of rosehip. It's a sour ale with rosehip, and it says, new addition to the 1 ton series, a sour ale brewed with 1 ton of rosehip per 1,000 liters. Comes in at, 8.1.
Whoa.
So, okay.
A lot of the 1 ton have a higher BD.
Yeah.
Rates.
This is interesting. I would say that, I'm always curious, how do these calendar boxes get put together?
Yes.
Because we started out with kind of, the first couple of days were kind of high ABV beers.
Yeah.
And then there was a long middle part, couple of weeks of just pure session beers, pretty much. 1 or 2 that, because there was the Mr. Blue was 7, and I think there was another one that was 6. But everything else was really in that either 0.3% or between 4 and 5%, somewhere in there, closer to the 4% side. And now the past couple of days, it's been, the Garden of Eden was 6%, and then the German Pilsner was 5%, and so now we're up to, 8.1%. So it feels like we're in the last couple of days. So I'd be curious to see what the last 2 beers are and how if we're continuing this upward trend of ABV to end with a bang. I remember the last time we did this, the last beer I think was the Snowball saison. And I was just oof, okay.
for Christmas Eve?
Yeah. Wow. All right, so this is really thick. This looks almost like a milkshake IPA if I had to describe it.
Yes.
And it smells like rosehip.
Yeah, sure.
So do you want to describe what rosehip is to our non-Swedish listeners?
To our non-Swedish listeners?
Yes.
It is...
Or non-Scandinavian listeners, maybe. Because rosehip isn't a thing that I ever had in the U.S. I didn't even know of until I moved here.
It isn't?
No.
It's like a red kind of fruit berry thing.
Right.
In Swedish, we call it nypon.
Yeah, nypon, and it's so what happens is you have this drink/soup called nypon sopa, which is rosehip soup.
Yeah.
And you drink it either cold or warm, depending on your preference.
Definitely.
And it's really high in vitamin C and vitamin B, I believe.
Oh, yeah. It has all the vitamins.
All the vitamins in the world. So usually in the winter, when you're kind of blue or feeling kind of sick, you drink nypon sopa because it warms you. Or if you've been outside in the snow for a long day, you come in and you drink nypon sopa because it's got all these vitamins and antioxidants and things like that in it. I am not a fan.
It's very common to throw in very small sweet cakes.
Really?
Like cookies.
Yeah.
Hard.
I don't know. This isn't something I'm familiar with. I don't know this part of it. But I know my daughter loved it when she was younger. I don't know if she still likes it or not. But anyway, rosehips are these little... I don't know, they're not little, but they're...
So in Swedish, they're biskvier. They're like this big. Very sweet.
Yeah, they're almost
things.
like little vanilla cookies.
Yes.
That you throw in with it, I guess.
They're made with almond and vanilla and stuff.
Yeah, and those are really tasty. I cut jalapenos earlier today and I just touched my eye. Oh, the pain.
Biscuits.
Yeah. Biscuits
best,
would be the...
Biscuits could be large, right?
Well, biscuits is kind of the UK definition. I would say in the English definition, it would be like a cookie that's the size of like an oyster cracker.
Yeah, sure.
So it's a really small cookie that you would maybe have with this.
Yes, but you know what? We haven't tried this beer yet.
We haven't tried this beer yet. We've just described what rosehips are.
I want to taste it.
And if you don't want to know more what they look like, go online and you can find photos of them.
Google it.
Wow.
Sour.
Yeah.
Little, this like flowery berry tasting sour.
Yeah. It's kind of like sea buckthorn almost. Not as sour as sea buckthorn is. Maybe somewhere between sea buckthorn and cloudberry.
It's not that far away, actually.
Yeah. Which again is a very Scandinavian reference for people not familiar with those flavors.
So sea buckthorn, cloudberries, and rosehips.
So if you're living in the Scandinavian market, you're kind of like, oh, I get that flavor. Oh. So, otherwise, it would be like for a English, like a U.S. equivalent, might be like kumquat, which is like a really small. Well, actually, you know what? A kumquat and a rosehip are almost the exact same size.
Yes.
So they're very, very small citrus fruit.
I don't think rosehip is a citrus fruit.
No. I don't. Well,
I think it's like a berry.
It could be like a berry, but I mean, based on the, I don't know how much vitamin C you have to have in something to quantify it as a citrus fruit, or what the.
Yeah, okay.
Or if it's like the skin is what makes a citrus fruit a citrus fruit.
Yeah. So the rosehip is an accessory fruit of the rose plant.
Yep, that sounds about right.
I've always felt like an accessory fruit.
Yep. I know, it tastes kind of like a screwdriver almost.
Yes.
Which is the vodka orange juice concoction.
It's quite boozy fruity.
I like it. I gotta admit, I like this much more than I thought it would. I guess what I like about it is it's kind of light and effervescent, where I find the rosehip soup to be really thick and
disgusting.
Yeah. A little bit, yeah. It's a little too viscous. But I find this to be light and refreshing, and because it looks like it's going to be. I mean, from the color, it looks like it's going to be quite hard to drink, but this is quite nice.
Yeah, I keep coming back. So when I try to put your experience of the rosehip soup in words, I keep going back to a Swedish word where I've said it before and I never find the translation. But it's kind of off-putting, disgusting-ish thing. In Swedish, it's vemjelig. It almost turns in your mouth. We go, no, I don't want this.
Yeah.
It's not like you spit it out. It's more like, oh no. Yeah. And then you swallow and then, it's over.
I think it's the way people feel like about maybe tomato juice sometimes.
Yes.
It's kind of the same, like, it's just this thick, viscous coating that just goes over your mouth, and you're like, oh, wow, that's an experience.
Yes. Yes, because disgusting you would just spit out. But this is just like, ugh.
Yeah.
Well, that happened.
Right. Maybe an oyster would also be another way to describe that kind of experience. But this is kind of fun. I like this. I like the aftertaste. Mm-hmm. But I like rosehip soup. I like the aftertaste too. Because like I said, it's very citrusy and floral and light, and the carbonation makes it very effervescent and quite enjoyable and tangy.
I'm going to give this a 4.
I am too. This is one of the highlights of the calendar, I got to admit.
Yeah.
I'm very very excited about this.
But I like the 1 ton of series. Now that it's not really time to look back upon the calendar because we have more days.
Right, 2 more days, and then we'll do a retrospective. And
but it was so long ago that the other ones were drank, so I think I would want them to be back to back to back in days.
I think that would be fun. I think it would be fun to see a series like that in a calendar,
so that you still remember yesterday's experience.
Now, I remember I liked the 1 ton of pomegranate more than you did, because you were like, there's not enough pomegranate flavor.
Yes. This one has a lot of rosehip flavor.
It does have a lot of rosehip flavor.
That's why it hits my taste buds.
And I wish I could say I remember what the 1 ton of Christmas was, but...
it was so long ago.
It was so long ago. It was like day 2, I want to say. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, come on.
But that makes the comparisons very difficult.
It does make them very, very difficult.
Yes.
So yeah, maybe next year they do like maybe 2 or 3 in a series. So you have kind of like, so if they did like the Dangerous Close to Stupid, they could maybe do 2 of those back to back, or maybe 3 of those back to back. Or if they did the Sur series, they did 2 or 3 of those back to back. So you kind of had an experience going through it, and not just, well, here's one random one, here's another random one, here's another random one. I think it would make it more of an impactful moment within the calendar itself.
That is my point.
Yeah, I agree. Okay.
Yeah.
So 4 and 4, highlight of the calendar so far.
Yes.
Nice.
We are so close to
Okay.
Christmas Eve right
Tomorrow is the penultimate episode for the month, and I cannot wait to see what we get.
Yes, I agree.
This podcast is part of the Pod Syndicate family. For more criminally compelling shows, articles, and conversations, head to wearepodsyndicate.com.